Anyway, tourists are welcome to the Lake District with open arms, but there is one group of visitors ruffling the feathers of the locals.
Anita Rani wades into the debate.
These geese are living on borrowed time. They're at the heart of a battle that's gripping the Lake District. A battle they're calling Save the Windermere 200. On one side is a committee called the Windermere Geese Management Group, who are proposing to cull up to 200 of the area's Canada geese. On the other side are locals and wildlife experts concerned at what they believe will be the needless death of wild animals.
And these fellas are caught in the middle.
The Geese Management Group is made up of landowners and some wildlife agencies and led by the Lake District National Park Authority. They say the Canada geese cause pollution with their droppings, spoil farmland by eating the grass normally grazed by livestock, and destroy reed beds on the banks of the lake, a perfect habitat for other animals. They say a cull is the last option left.
But a lot of people in Windermere disagree.
Clive Hartley has spent the last 7 years studying Windermere's Canada goose population.
We've got a population on here of about 350, 400 birds that are actually resident here all year. But we also get an influx, as many as 700 at times, just for 6 weeks in June and July each year. And basically it's this migratory element that I think are causing the problem.
More geese mean more droppings. Not only does this increase E. coli in the lake, but the nutrients from the droppings fertilise algae in the water.
Within a week or two, these are going to be nesting, no question about that.
The high numbers of geese nesting on the islands in the lake have forced indigenous ducks out of their former nesting sites.
Are they a pest? Are they a nuisance? Are they damaging the natural ecosystem?
Windermere is a very, very large lake. If you've got 400 geese spread over a lake the size of Windermere, that's not too problematic.
The Geese Management Group disputes Clive's numbers, saying there are 800 resident Canada geese. They're proposing to cull up to 200 of them on their nests, and with the nesting season imminent, the geese might not have long left.
Of course, we asked the Geese Management Group for an interview. They declined but gave us a statement. They say they acknowledged that the cull provoked a strong public reaction and they took that on board before deciding to go ahead. But that hasn't stopped the campaigners from wanting to kill the cull.
There are proven non-lethal ways of reducing numbers, and that's what we want them to do.
They say they've exhausted all their humane ways of trying to reduce numbers and that the only viable option they've got left is to kill them.
Let's see the evidence, because they are not bringing forth this evidence.
Yeah.
That's all we've asked. We want the evidence.
I'd like them to exhaust all methods of reducing the geese population in a non-lethal manner, in a manner that's safer for the public. Then we can come to the issue of a cull.
A lot of people who bring the children, their first memory of wildlife is coming down to Bowness and feeding the ducks and the birds, and they'd be horrified if they knew this cull, this unnecessary cull, was going ahead. Hopefully it won't.
The campaigners are determined to stop the cull.
This will be a bloodbath on Windermere, and we're here today to let our voice be heard.
But what do tourists and locals in Windermere think?
A part of the lake, you can't do away with that, you're killing part of the lake.
I don't think culling is kind of a bad thing, but if it could be avoided, I think that's the way to go.
I believe there can be a nuisance in that they destroy a lot of the habitat, so in some ways it's a good thing, but it's as long as it's done in the right way.
But the anti-cull protesters say there are other ways of managing the geese population. It's something Dr. Roy Armstrong has done before.
Are you anti-cull?
I'm not anti-cull, I'm a conservationist, not an animal rights person, and the two are sometimes different. If the lake is carrying the right number of geese for the lake, then all that will happen if you take away these geese is other geese will come in and occupy that left space.
So what are the alternatives to their proposed cull?
You've got to look at each site and determine what it is that makes a site attractive to geese. So you can tackle the food source. You can use fencing, you can use decoys, you can use predators or things that look like predators. Control isn't about bird-proofing a site. It's not like putting up nets and stopping anything coming in. What you're trying to do is convince the birds involved that they'd rather be just a bit further along
We've received a statement from the Geese Management Group, and they've said they've tried temporary fencing, permanent fencing, mechanical scarers as well as others, and they are telling us that the only viable option left to them is a cull.
I think we need to have a breathing space in this, and I think we need to appraise the arguments of both sides and see if we can come up with a more balanced way of dealing with the Lake District's goose problem.